Hey guys and dolls, welcome back to the Reality Recap, the show where we take a shady look back at some of the things that happened on your favorite reality shows. My name is Kay Salisho, Deputy Lifestyle Editor at News 24 and the host of this podcast. This week we have our first guest in studio, so I'm keen to get into it as we get to know Khutso and Ditshwanelo from Married at First Sight Mzansi. Could you guys just start with a little bit of an intro, who you are and which show you guys are from?
My name is Khutso Mkwena and we are from Married at First Sight Mzansi, Season 1.
I'm Ditshwanelo Sotoromane and I'm from the same show as Khutso.
All right. So my first question would be, besides looking for a partner, is there any other reason why you guys felt that you needed the show's help in helping you achieve your goal? Or is there something else that you were looking for, maybe to get to know yourself a little better through the process?
Yes, I was looking for a partner, but also I thought of it would be a better way to actually look at myself and see how other people see me when I'm in a relationship with them. So having to watch myself and see, okay, I could have done better there. I need to improve here. So it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to actually date yourself in a way, because then you get to experience how you are in a relationship and it's easier. You don't just have to hear people telling you that you need to improve here and here. If you can see it yourself, then it's easier for you to work on it, I guess.
I don't have such an in-depth answer to that question like Khutso. No, I honestly, if it wasn't on television, I still would have entered it because I was looking for a partner.
All right. Did the thought of how your family, then this includes the parents of your children, would react affect your decision? How hard was it to make the decision when you factored in those kinds of things?
No, I only thought about myself and my needs. Obviously, I also thought about my child, and those were the two people that I had to think about. Whether my family would be upset about it didn't really bother me. It's just like, if anyone in my family is upset, it's a bridge that I'll cross when I get to it. My son's father, also, really, I don't need his permission.
Understood. Did that affect your decision to do this?
Yeah, in a way, yes, because in the show, we get to show everyone, really, talk about things we wouldn't normally talk about. And so I was mostly worried about my grandparents and my mom and my family, because there are things that come out about them that I wouldn't normally share with anyone, but because of the show, we had to go that deep and talk about it. So I was a bit worried about them.
Oh, wow. What have you learned about yourself from being on the show? And I'm going to start with you because of your answer that you gave a little bit earlier. Is there anything specific that you saw that you didn't know before you appeared on the show?
There's a few things that I didn't know. I thought I could regulate my emotions. I mean, I think I'm pretty good at regulating my emotions, but there are times in the episodes where I was on autopilot and I didn't recognize the person. I was like, oh, because I was always under the impression that I can regulate my emotions in every situation. But I guess the pressure of the cameras, the pressure of everything moving so fast, there was a time where I reacted in a manner that I wouldn't have normally reacted in. So yeah, I got to calm down. You're not that good at regulating your emotion.
I don't know why I would think this, because I've been with my therapist for a long time, since my mid-20s. But maybe because she hasn't said it verbatim or expressly said that ABC and D. That I'm neurodivergent.
Wow.
So obviously she has diagnosed me with the regular things, depression, anxiety, and then my psychiatrist has diagnosed me with obsessive compulsive personality disorder. which is different from OCD. I just want to put that disclaimer. It's not OCD, it's OCPD.
Okay.
But I don't know why I never understood that as you are not neurotypical, because neurotypical people don't suffer from OCPD. So, but watching it and also being in the experience, I realized that, I mean, I've always known this, but it becomes more like prevalent or evident that I don't do well in social settings. I don't look people in the eyes when I speak to them. So I'm making a very big effort to look you in the eye right now.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was interesting to see.
Is it jarring or helpful to come to that realization in the manner that you did?
It's actually helpful.
Okay.
It makes it easier for me to just accept that it's okay. You don't have to interact with people, but when I do interact with people, then I have to like make a big effort.
Right.
So then it makes sense to me why I feel so depleted after like a social interaction.
That was going to be my next question, so thanks for answering that. And what have you guys learned about each other? And I asked that taking into consideration that like you were getting to know each other through the process, so you didn't even come into it with preconceived notions. So what did you guys learn about each other throughout the experience? Maybe if you can highlight one thing each.
During the experience, I learned that there's a certain way to argue with D. That doesn't really work with other people. For example, I learned that if you wanna get D to listen to you, you need to keep quiet and let her talk. Because if you talk, you guys are gonna end up in a screaming match, and it doesn't end well. Okay. Yeah, so it's easier to just let her deplete herself, and then once she's done, then you can talk to her. Because if you talk to her while she wants to talk, it won't end well. And doesn't really work for... Oh, they use the word silent treatment. Oh, it's not silent treatment. It's just keeping quiet and waiting for her to be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anything you learned about him in the process?
Yeah, I think I picked this up in that episode where we were on the couch. I think I'm wearing a green dress. It was after the reunion dinner, after we'd come back from Plett, that he has an avoidant attachment style. Yeah. And I know personally that I have an anxious attachment style.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Those two work well together.
No, they don't.
That's why my face did what it did, because I'm like, that doesn't sound like they go well together. So, wow. Would you do this again if you had the opportunity without knowing the experience you guys have had, or even knowing what you guys have gone through? Would you do it again?
I wouldn't do it again, no.
No, I would do it again. I had fun. It was a very nice experience that I don't think I would have gotten that anywhere else. So I would definitely do it again. And I got to make friends. So yeah, and also got to learn about myself. And it's an opportunity, man, where you basically have to program what you want in a partner, because you have to write down everything that you would love in a partner, and if you're lucky enough, they'll deliver in every paragraph that you wrote, and that's a win. So I would take that chance again.
And what was the most shocking part of the process, whether it's having a camera in your space 24/7, or maybe your family's reaction to things? Is there anything that stands out as the most shocking part of going through something like this in such a public way?
I think the most shocking part has been the feedback from the public. Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Especially from women. I'm aware that, reality TV is consumed mostly by women. And also an interesting part is that a lot of men are also watching it. I found that quite interesting. South African women, I find them to be very strange in the fact that, we have quite a big problem in South Africa regarding the rape statistics. femicide and GBV, and I mean the first episode, the one where I decided we're not spending the night together. That is me consenting to not sharing a bed or sleeping with him, having sex. But the backlash that I got from using my personal autonomy was quite shocking. So it's just like, where do we stand? Are we going to support somebody that is not consenting to any physical intimacy, but then give her, crap for doing that, but then also be shocked that, we have such high rape statistics and statistics regarding GBV.
Wow, I didn't even think that would have been the reaction, but I guess that's why we do these interviews, so you guys can sensitize us to some of the things that you go through. And also, just on the flip side of my previous question, could you guys maybe highlight something that you found quite fun or enjoyable in the process?
I really enjoyed our honeymoon. It was a beautiful location. The activities that we did, we rode a bicycle.
How long did they let you guys stay there for the honeymoon?
It was 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was a mini moon.
I was wondering.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the honeymoon.
All right. And anything that you found fun?
The food. So I know, ideally, I would like to eat 5 times a day. So
Me and you both.
So in a normal life setting, it's very difficult to prepare 5 meals a day. But while shooting, it was easier to, especially during the honeymoon, it was easier to like, I'm hungry now, let's order something. I'm hungry now. So I really enjoyed the food. I enjoyed hanging out with everyone, especially the guys. I enjoyed the mini activities that we got to do. All
right. How did relating to each other differ on camera versus off?
Yeah, there was a slight difference. I think on camera, everything was moving too fast. Whilst off camera, we got to set our own pace. It was apparent from day 2 or day 3 that we, from different backgrounds. So we had to like talk extensively just to find a middle ground, and doing that off camera happened slower than on camera. Because now on camera, I think everyone just expects us to get each other. Like she mentioned, the comments from people is that I think they're under the impression that we're attracted to each other, because I've seen that word float around as people saying, yeah, you attract guys like this, or Kuto, you attract guys like this. I think they forget that we didn't attract each other. They brought her for me, they brought me to her. So it makes sense that our background is so different because we didn't attract each other.
From a viewer perspective, I will say I didn't think it would go as smoothly as it appeared on the show for you guys. I thought you guys would have difficulty relating to each other. So seeing how easily it seemed from the outside looking in, I was pleasantly surprised that it was going well for you guys. So I'll just give that little bit of feedback from like a viewer perspective. Has your social media presence changed since the show? Are more people curious? Are more people following? Are you getting a crazy amount of DMs, or is it normal? Because I know like people with their opinion, because you're on the show now, they just feel like they can just unsolicited approach you and tell you what they felt or thought about how they saw you on the show.
I'm quite a boundaried person, so when the show aired, I put my Instagram on private, and it will remain like that until further notice.
So you probably have like 1,000 follow requests.
No, I actually don't. I don't have as many followers on Instagram, or I didn't receive as many followers on Instagram as he did. But that's also because I'm on private. So I have a list of criteria that you must meet in order for me to accept your follow request. Whereas on TikTok, I'm public. However, my comments are off. and you cannot tag me or at me unless we follow each other mutually.
All right. That's good boundary setting. Kudos to you on that. How has your social media presence changed since the show?
Yes, there is a few DMs.
A few.
Okay. Okay. There's a lot of DMs. Yes. My following has increased, but also it comes with a level of anxiety because now I feel like I'm not in control. Especially, there's this pressure that now that you need to post, you need to interact, you need to. Because I'd go months without posting anything, and I wouldn't feel better about it, even though I am selling something other than my 9 to 5. I do other things that require social media, but I had control as to what am I going to post and when am I going to post, and if so, when I'm going to post. So now I feel like there's this pressure to post because you also wanna, you feel like you need to take advantage of the engagement and actually promote your other businesses and whatnot. So it's a bit frustrating and stressful.
All right. And how has the experience affected real life? You indicated at the beginning of the show that you were doing a career change and that involved you re-enrolling in school. And with you, like you said, you have your 9 to 5 and you have other businesses. So how has like being on the show affected real life? Maybe when you went back to the office, how did people react?
I was speaking to one of the other ladies on the show, and she's having a much different experience in her real life than I am. It hasn't changed much. I think maybe on campus there have been a few people that have approached me or said, "Hey, I've been watching the show," or whatever.
Okay.
And then she said maybe people are afraid to approach me, which I'm happy with. If that's the case, I'll take that.
I've been there before, so I'm not judging at all. I understand. And how has it changed for you?
It is making life very difficult, especially at the office. Yeah, no, it's very difficult. I remember I went to the police station and a few people came up to me and they wanted to see my hand. They're like, "Where's the ring?" And yeah, so it's gonna be very difficult to move through, especially now that I can see a lot of people are now watching the show. So yeah, but it has changed.
Man, I feel bad for you. All right. And my final question for this part of the interview is, what is next for you guys? Is it just back to real life as normal, or are you going to lean into the platform that this has afforded you?
Wow, that's a good question. I've been saying that, like, I just want to get back to my normal life. But what that means for me is that, you know, if I go on live on TikTok, people are in the chat like talking about Married at First Sight and whatever. And I've set another boundary. We are not discussing Married at First Sight. My life goes beyond that. So I'm just going to be creating content that I was before, which is student life, mom life, gym life.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for you, are you back to real life, or are you going to use the opportunity that the platform has provided?
Ideally, I would like to find a balance, go through real life as I was, but also take advantage of the engagement because, like I said, there are other things outside my 9 to 5 that I'm doing, and I think social media plays a big part to that. So if I can find a balance, and because I love what I do on my 9 to 5, but also love what I do outside that. And so if I can find a balance between, yes, I will take advantage of the engagement or the 15 seconds that we have and, you know, push my other things.
Thank you. For News 24 Life Reality Recap with Kay, I'm Kay Salisho.